Hi everyone, I welcome you all for this Nursing Wisdom channel. Today we are going to see about MCQ related to OBG. This will be helpful for nursing competitive exams. First question, the condition where the uterus stands inside out is known as option A retroversion, option B prolapse, option C anteversion, option D inversion. Retroverted uterus. A retroverted uterus means the uterus is tilted backward towards the rectum. Uterine prolapse. It occurs when pelvic floor muscles and ligaments stretch and weakens and no longer provide enough support for the uterus. As a result, the uterus slips down into or protrudes out of the vagina. Anteverted uterus. Normal uterine position is anteverted and anteflexed. Anteversion of the uterus refers to the position of the uterus where the long axis of the uterus is bent forward on the long axis of the vagina against the urinary bladder. Uterine inversion. It is one of the most serious complications of childbirth. Uterine inversion refers to the collapse of the fundus into the uterine cavity. Although it does not often occur, it carries a high risk of mortality due to hemorrhage and shock. So here the answer is option D, inversion. The condition where the uterus stands inside out is known as inversion. Next question, which of the following is the reason for the development of hydramnios in a woman with gestational diabetes? Option A, hyperplasia of blood vessels. Option B, fetal diuresis. Option C, absence of swallowing reflex in fetus. Option D, increased transudation. Polyhydramnios is defined as a state where liquor omni exceeds 2000 ml. In most cases, exact cause cannot be identified. Some of the maternal causes include cardiac problems, kidney problems, and maternal diabetes mellitus. Gestational diabetes causes fetal hyperglycemia and resulting polyuria, that means fetal diuresis. So here the answer is option B, fetal diuresis. Which of the following is the reason for the development of hydramnios in a woman with gestational diabetes is option B, fetal diuresis. The type of pelvis in which the futures are heart-shaped brim, narrow fore pelvis, and sciatic notch with prominent ischial spines and suprapubic angle less than 90. Option A, gynecoid pelvis. Option B, android pelvis. Option C, anthropoid pelvis. Option D, platypelloid pelvis. Here we will see the futures of 4 types of pelvis. Futures. First, brim. Brim will be rounded in gynecoid pelvis, heart-shaped in android pelvis, long oval in anthropoid pelvis, kidney-shaped in platypelloid pelvis. Fore pelvis, generous in gynecoid pelvis, narrow in android pelvis, narrowed in anthropoid pelvis, wide in platypelloid pelvis. Side walls, straight in gynecoid pelvis, convergent in android pelvis, divergent in anthropoid pelvis, divergent in platypelloid pelvis. Ischial spines, blunt in gynecoid pelvis, prominent in android pelvis, blunt in anthropoid pelvis, blunt in platypelloid pelvis. Sciatic notch, rounded in gynecoid pelvis, narrow in android pelvis, wide in anthropoid pelvis, wide in platypelloid pelvis. Subpubic angle, 90 in gynecoid, less than 90 in android pelvis, more than 90 in anthropoid pelvis, more than 90 in platypelloid. Incidence, 50% for gynecoid pelvis, 20% for android pelvis, 25% for anthropoid pelvis, 5% for platypelloid pelvis. So here the answer is option B, android pelvis. The type of pelvis in which the futures are heart-shaped brim, narrow forepelvis, and sciatic notch with prominent ischial spines and suprapubic angle less than 90. The answer is option B, chondroid pelvis. Next question. In the fetal skull, the pragma is found, option A, at the junction of the sagittal, coronal and frontal sutures. Option B, at the junction of the lambdoidal and sagittal sutures. Option C, between the two halls of the frontal bone. Option D, between the frontal bones and parietal bones. Pragma is anterior fontanel. It is formed by the meeting of frontal, sagittal and two coronal sutures. Lambda is posterior fontanel. It is formed by the meeting of sagittal and two lambdoid sutures. So here the answer is option A, at the junction of the sagittal, coronal and frontal sutures. In the fetal skull, the pragma is found, option A, at the junction of the sagittal, coronal and frontal sutures. Next question. The hormone that prevents menstruation and maintains pregnancy by sustaining the function of the corpus luteum is option A, follicle stimulating hormone, option B, luteinizing hormone, option C, gonadotrophin releasing hormone, option C, human chorionic gonadotrophin hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone is essential for pubertal development and plays a key role in function of women's ovaries and men's testes. Luteinizing hormone triggers ovulation in females and development of corpus luteum, and in males it stimulates Leydig cell production of testosterone. Gonadotrophin releasing hormone is released by the gonadotrophin hormones, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Human chorionic gonadotrophin hormone, it is the hormone that prevents menstruation and maintains pregnancy by sustaining the function of the corpus luteum. So here the answer is option D, human chorionic gonadotrophin hormone. The hormone that prevents menstruation and maintains pregnancy by sustaining the function of the corpus luteum is option D, human chorionic gonadotrophin hormone. Next question. The function of amniotic fluid, or option A, protects fetus from jarring and injury, option B, maintains intrauterine temperature, option C, provides nutrients to fetus, option D, protects the placenta and umbilical cord. Here the option 1 A, B, C, option 2 B, C, D, option 3 A, C, D, option 4 A, B, C, D. The function of amniotic fluid. The fetus floats in the amniotic fluid. It allows fetus to move freely, aiding development of muscles and bones, prevents adherence of the amnion to the embryo, act as a cushion to protect embryo from injuries, act as a barrier to infection, permits normal lung development, permits symmetrical external growth of the embryo, regulates fetal water and electrolyte balance, assists in regulation of fetal body temperature. So here the answer is option 4 A, B, C, D. Here all the options are functions of amniotic fluid. So the correct answer is option 4 A, B, C, D. Next question. The contraindication of induction of labor includes the following except option A, placenta previa, option B, fetal macrosomia, option C, cord presentation, option D, cephalopelvic disproportion. The contraindication to the induction of labor: major degree of placenta previa, vasa previa, previous classical uterine incision or incision because of metroplasty or extension myomectomy when the cavity is open, cephalopelvic disproportion because of malpresentation or abnormal pelvic bone structure, active genital corpus infection, invasive cervical carcinoma, hypersensitivity to cervical ripening agents, transverse lie. So here the answer is option B, fetal macrosomia. The contraindication of induction of labor includes the following except option B, fetal macrosomia. Next question, the clinical entity where the process of abortion has started but has not progressed to a state from which recovery is impossible is option A, spontaneous abortion, option B, threatened abortion, option C, inevitable abortion, option D, missed abortion. Spontaneous abortion. Spontaneous abortion is non-induced embryonic or fetal death or passage of products of conception before 20 weeks of gestation. Threatened abortion. Threatened abortion is defined as vaginal bleeding before 20 weeks gestational age in the setting of a positive pregnancy test with a closed cervical os, without passage of products of conception and without evidence of a fetal or embryonic demise. Missed abortion. A missed abortion is a miscarriage in which fetus didn't develop or has died but placenta and embryonic tissues are still in uterus. Inevitable abortion. Inevitable abortion is characterized by rupture of membranes or cervical dilatation in a pre-viable pregnancy in the presence of vaginal bleeding and contractions. So here the answer is option B, threatened abortion. A clinical entity where the process of abortion has started but has not progressed to a state from which recovery is impossible is option B, threatened abortion. Next question, which among the following can be seen in a partial mole? Option A, triploidy, option B, haploidy, option C, polyploidy, option D, diploidy. Partial hydatidiform mole is type of gestational trophoblastic disease which is characterized by its focal distribution, slower transformation, the presence of an embryo or fetus, and a triploid karyotype. The signs and symptoms of partial hydatidiform mole include abdominal pain, cramps in lower abdomen, and vaginal bleeding during pregnancy. The uterus is large for gestational age and fetal heartbeat is usually absent. Here the answer is option A, triploidy. Which among the following can be seen in a partial mole? Option A, triploidy. Next question, failure to deliver the head even after correct and judicious application of forceps raise the suspicion on option A, cervical dystocia, option B, spastic lower segment, option C, constricting ring, option D, incoordinate uterine action. Cervical dystocia. Cervical dystocia means failure of the cervix to dilate within a reasonable time in spite of good regular uterine contractions. Spastic lower segment, fundal dominance is lacking and often there is reversed polarity. The pacemakers do not work in rhythm. The lower segment contractions are stronger. Inadequate relaxation in between contractions. Basal tone is raised above the critical level of 20 mmHg. Constricting ring. Constriction ring is a persistent localized annular spasm of the circular uterine muscles which occurs at any part of the uterus but usually at junction of the upper and lower uterine segment. Incoordinate uterine action. It has the characteristics of strong and painful uterine contraction, high frequency, slow cervical dilatation, two pole of uterus doesn't function rhythmically. So here the answer is option C, constriction ring. Failure to deliver head even after correct and judicious application of forceps raise the suspicion on option C, constricting ring. I hope you will be able to understand. Thanks for watching.